Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz rematch.
Cruz right now is at an all-time high in his career. That might be blinding them a little bit. Gervonta Davis with one hand beat Cruz. Even at 140, I still think Gervonta Davis has the better skills to beat Cruz. Hitchins is now the number one contender for the IBF champion. Who is the IBF champion? Subriel Matias. Are they going to put him against Matias?
I think Richardson already addressed that. One of the names that Richardson mentioned was Matias, saying that he's probably not ready for him.
David Benavidez got interviewed by DAZN. Fans went online and were like, yo, this man drunk? And turns out he was drunk. I don't think he should apologize for it. People are just being way too over the top when it comes to him drinking. Like, fans assume that boxers don't drink. Welcome back to another episode of the Last Round Podcast, where we cover everything from traditional boxing to influencer boxing and everything in between. In today's episode, we'll be covering Richardson Hitchins, the 140-pound contender, as he returned to the ring this past weekend in a very controversial and debatable UD win over Gustavo Lemos. We'll also be talking about the highly debated topic between Gervonta Davis and Pitbull Cruz, the rematch that many people are anticipating sometime soon in the future. And lastly, we'll be talking about the very controversial moment of David Benavidez, as he was seen a little intoxicated, a little off the radar this past weekend. But before we dive into the episode, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as follow us on all our forms of social media. We are on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Lastly, don't forget to follow us and join our Discord. Link is down in the description below. Now, let's dive right into the episode. This past weekend, like I just mentioned, Richardson Hitchins returned to the ring. You know, he's a very big, very confident man, you know, in his abilities. He has a lot of, he's very vocal online when it comes to his boxing. And he returned this weekend against the very tough Argentinian and Gustavo Lemos, an undefeated fighter during the time. And let's just say that the fight did not go anywhere, you know.
According to plan?
According to plan, you know, people were expecting a big washout from Hitchins. Gustavo was a huge underdog coming to the fight, and I mean, I think he left the fight with a lot more fans and a lot more respect. What are your guys' thoughts about this past weekend's Hitchins versus Lemos?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of him before this fight, but he was an undefeated fighter from Argentina, and he really showed out like a fantastic performance. I mean, yeah, no one gave him any chance against Hitchins because, yeah, Richardson, he is, you know, supposedly the elites at the 140. He should be, now he's the number one contender for the IBF. So he's up there with the elites at the 140 division. And for him to struggle this much against a relatively unknown Argentinian fighter, it was very surprising. The fight was extremely entertaining. A lot of people criticize Hitchins because he is a boring fighter, quote unquote. But Lemos came in there to fight, man. He came in with a high guard, pressure, cutting off the ring, and he made it a brawl. And he also forced Hitchins to also fight like in a brawl. It was a very close distance fight. Controversial decision. You know, they gave it the UD to Hitchins. Me personally, I think it should have been, at best for Hitchins, a 6-6 draw. But I think Lemos did enough. I think 7-5 for Lemos is a good scorecard. And, I mean, the judges, they screwed over Lemos, bro. One of them gave it a 9-3. 9-3, that's a robbery. That's when you can say, okay, these judges was something fishy with these judges, because Gustavo Lemos did not win only 3 rounds.
Yeah, there always seems to have to always be one judge to kind of be the outsider, the outlier type. You know, the first 2 judges had it 15-13, close, although maybe some people didn't see it that way in Richardson's favor. But I mean, 9-3 is quite a bit. Yeah,
like 7-5. We can't, maybe not a robbery, close fight. Maybe it could have been for Lemos, but 9-3 is like something shady's going on there.
Yeah, there's no way any fighter won 9 rounds like that. It was a very close fight, like you said. The early on in the fight, Lemos was showing, you know, the pressure, the aggression, and he was getting the best out of Hitchins. But midway through the fight, Hitchins did adjust. You know, he started not not staying in the ropes, started using his lateral movements, staking out the jab, and he at points had Lemos on the back foot. And I mean, Lemos is not his game is not on the back foot, it's going towards you. So there's points where Hitchins was piecing up Lemos. He's doing a great job, but I do feel that Lemos, those last championship rounds were in his favor. I thought he did a great job closing the entirety of the fight, and I don't know, I thought Lemos deserved better than what the judges gave him. The 117-111 scorecard was an abomination.
Yeah,
everyone online was so mad.
Yeah, it sparked definitely a controversy because I mean, it's, like you said, the champion is supposed to finish off the fight strong, and that's what Lemos showed. Lemos in the 12th round, he was swinging punches, he was going forward. It was Hitchins who was actually on the back foot trying to, bring the pace down. So I think Lemos definitely did enough to win this fight. So it was sad to see, man, because it would have been a great underdog story. It would have been a great now Lemos is the number one contender instead of Hitchins. But sadly he didn't get the victory, but I would love to see him again because his style is very fan friendly, know, high guard, and he's coming straight at you. He throws a lot of punches. He does throw usually like at a constant pace. He's not really that explosive, or he doesn't vary his activity, but it's still a hard opponent to fight. I mean, yeah, of course Hitchins is an elite, and for him to struggle that much, it just goes to show you how experienced and how skilled Lemos is.
Yeah, what was his record again?
He was 29-0 going into the fight.
Wow,
that's a good record.
Yeah.
I mean,
great record.
Even though you could say the names on the resume aren't well known, but regardless, 29-0, and he showed out why he's undefeated because he is a very tough guy to even beat. Like you said, Hitchins was big favorite. I mean, he's the guy that online, him and Shakur, sometimes I'd be going back at it, this and that. He'd be talking his game, and I mean, rightfully so. Hitchins was coming off an elite performance against Jose Cepeda last year, where he just absolutely shut out Cepeda and made him just look bad at a former contender. So for him to perform that way. Fast forward to what happened this past week, and it was a very big, change, and it's all because of Lemos, the style that he brought.
Yeah, so I mean, Hitchins is now the number one contender for the IBF champion at the 140 division. Who is the IBF champion at the 140 division? None other than the most dangerous fighter, perhaps pound for pound in boxing, Subriel Matias. So now he's the number one contender. After this fight, controversial victory. Are they gonna put him against Matias, or are the managers gonna be like, maybe we should take it a little slow?
I think everyone already knows that answer. I think Richardson already addressed that. There was a clip I showed Pablo. It looked like a clip of him after training or whatever, sitting on top of the ring. There was a couple guys sparring in the background, and I guess the reporter was asking him questions and stuff like that. And one of the names that Richardson mentioned was Matias, saying that he's probably not ready for him. That it's a fight that he's not really looking to.
Hitchins said that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't know how old the footage was, but I remember. Yeah, you showed me that video, and it was weird. I mean, that wasn't weird, but it was surprising.
It's surprising because usually boxers aren't humble enough to admit when they're not ready for a certain fight. They're always like, yeah, I could beat everybody. So when you see something like that, it's just kind of strange. It's like, he took the back step, humble approach.
Yeah.
Well, and rightfully so. I do think that, I mean, if Lemos was able to cause that much problems with his pressure and with his aggression, then imagine that aggression multiplied by 4 when it comes to Matias. That man does not, there's no quit. He has an iron chin. He goes at you. He hits hard. So that fight is very difficult for Hitchins, and I don't see him winning that fight.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, Lemos was able to hurt Hitchins in this fight, and all respect to Lemos, but he does not hit nearly as hard as Matias. So if Lemos had you on shaky legs, I think in the 8th round, then I mean Matias is gonna get you out of there, man. So,
yeah, and in both hands as well.
Both hands. I mean, yeah, Matias. I think definitely, if they were to fight Matias versus Hitchins, I'd heavily bet the house on Matias.
Yeah, because I feel like this fight was definitely to show Richardson if he really is at that level, which is, he's a decorated amateur. He's won countless national titles here in the United States. He went and represented his country at the 2016 Olympics. So he definitely has that, skills, the fundamentals down and stuff like that. And he's what you consider a slick fighter. Just his boxing skills are pretty superb. His previous fight with Cepeda clearly showed that. And now this fight was a test against a guy who's rigid, dirty, does not stop coming forward. And it looks like Richardson kind of had a speed bump. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the dirty falls on Hitchins, man, because the amount of clinches he had,
this is
no repercussion, nothing. He clinched so much throughout that fight. I was like, bro, he's like his girlfriend or something at that point, man, because there's no way.
He wanted to get so close to Lemos. He's like, it's a bit sus. I don't know.
It was crazy. I'm surprised the referee didn't at least warn him at any point, because the amount of clinch that he did in that fight was insane. I don't know.
This is one of the things that sucks about boxing. Sometimes these fighters, especially like the boxers type, they're running around the ring, and then if you are too aggressive to them, they just hold you, right? That's their style. But sometimes the ref doesn't get them in trouble, and then the fight is not fair for Lemos, because Lemos did the right thing to cut off the ring, but then Hitchins just hugs him, and then they're able to separate, and he's able to go back in the center of the ring.
Yeah, clinching is definitely one of those areas where you would call it like a gray area. Like sometimes it's acceptable, sometimes it's excessive, but even then, you may get a point deducted, you may not get a point deducted. You may get a point deducted after 20 times, but you could also get a point deducted after the second time.
Well, that's what the referee is key. Certain referees let things slide, some others, some let you work, in the clinch, some others just immediately break you up. And this referee was clearly, he just allowed anything.
Biased, man.
He literally let everything slide.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was surprised. People online were surprised at the amount of clinching.
But I believe there should be at least some type of set of rules when it comes to that aspect.
The rule is you can't clinch. That's the rule. It's just these referees, sometimes they don't follow it. Sometimes they let the fighters get away with it. Yeah. So it sucks, because it's better for Hitchins. I mean, he just halt Lemos' forward aggression just by smothering and then clinching, and then the referee would just hey, separate and then box. He never gave him a warning, which is crazy, because there were some points, especially when he was hurt. Oh my gosh, Hitchins was just holding on every single time they got separated, and then he just go back to holding.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
Well, here's the thing. The whole referee issue was a big no-no on my part. A lot of people saw it that way too. They were not very fond of the referee just letting everything slide. But going back to the topic about the champions and who he's ready for. In my opinion, I think he would do better against Teofimo Lopez than with Matias. And the aspect that Teofimo Lopez does struggle with slick boxers, whereas, as we just saw, Hitchins struggles with an aggressive boxer. So, I mean, if I was trying to navigate Hitchins through his career and at a potential title shot, I feel like I'd be more catered to pin him up against Teofimo Lopez rather than Matias.
Stylistically, I think so, because if you pair him up against Matias or even Pitbull Cruz, those fighters are going to come at you, and he definitely does struggle a little bit with that. But Teofimo Lopez is more of a boxer puncher, so he does box you, but he will start throwing punches, but he's not nearly as aggressive as Matias or Pitbull Cruz. So yeah, stylistically, I think Hitchins would want that fight, because it'd be a slower paced fight. Although I don't give him that much of a chance, I'm gonna be honest. I think Teofimo Lopez would still beat him.
Sorry.
But yeah, I think stylistically it's definitely better for him, because he has to stay away from Matias. Even though he's the number one contender, he has to stay away.
Yeah, he should have tried to get a fight with Rolly Romero instead.
Get a fight with Rolly, dude?
Yeah, because
maybe Regis Prograis?
Regis Prograis as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
right.
People were saying, what's next for
Hitchins.
And one with Prograis. I forgot who the other
Montana
two people.
Love.
I kind of like
that one.
Montana Love. I kind of forget about Montana sometimes.
Same.
Well, it's because Liam-Paro was the one who whooped his ass. Yeah. And which is what got him this opportunity to fight Matias. But yeah, Montana Love. Remember, he had such
a fast rise.
Yeah, people were really like, they're saying, oh, he's the next guy at 140. But then everything just went south, man. You know, he started losing, and then he started like throwing people out the rings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Hey, didn't he get disqualified or something?
Yeah, he got disqualified because he did that. Yeah, he threw him out the ring.
Now, yeah.
Crazy. I remember. I think I first saw him fight against what's his name? That Baranchenk, the one who fought Zepeda
and got KO'd of the year.
Yeah. I forgot his name.
Ivan
Baranchenk. Yeah.
Baranchenk. He fought on the Jake Paul undercard.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
I think it was the first Woodley fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember watching. That was the first time I saw Montana Love. And
coming in with the pup.
Yeah, with his dog. Yeah, and I mean he whooped the absolute shit out of Baranchenk. But like then again, Baranchenk after that KO loss against Zepeda was
he was going downhill.
Yeah, he was very susceptible to whatever punch even landed on him. So I mean, it wasn't the same, but he pieced him up real bad. So that was the first time I saw Montana Love. But then after that, I just saw him just get disqualified and then lose and then get dropped and everything. So it hasn't been the right thing for him. But that would be a good fight for Hitchins
because Montana Love has a name on his resume. I mean, it's a somebody. It's not like a nobody.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a calculated risk because he's not at the best time in his career. So yeah, I mean, if Hitchins wants to take it slow, he maybe perhaps would go down a road like that against Regis Prograis, former world champion. Yeah. You know,
out of all the other 4 champions, who do you think Richardson is ready for?
They kind of touched on this already with the style.
Yeah.
Stylistically, probably Teofimo. Because Haney is just a much better boxer.
Yeah, he just outboxed.
He's just
quicker as well, smarter.
He's just like Hitchins, but like 10 times better. So it's like he's not going to beat him.
Not the same level. Yeah. But yeah, Teofimo Lopez would probably be the better route for him to take in the aspect that it'd be more beatable in that, you know, just because of the styles. But I mean, talking about the 140 champs, you know, 140 we have Pitbull Cruz, we have Matias,
the newest addition.
Yeah, Devin Haney, and we have Teofimo. One of the things that has been really kind of surprised me is the fact that the rise of Pitbull, you know, not just among the boxing but among the casual fans, because a lot, you know, his win over Rolly Romero was huge. It went viral, very viral, and I was not expecting a lot because I remember I went to the gas station the other day, and one of the workers there, you know, we were talking about boxing, and he's all like, "Oh, Pitbull Cruz," he's like, "Oh, he was talking in Spanish, but I'm gonna translate in English." He's like, "Oh, Pitbull Cruz, he beat the shit out of that one guy." I'm like, "Yeah," he's like, "Oh, he's better than Canelo."
Oh damn.
And then I was like, better than Canelo? He's like, yeah, Canelo's nothing anymore. And then we started talking about Gervonta Davis, and he's like, oh, I think he beats Gervonta Davis. He beat him in the first fight. And I was like, wow, okay. So then we posted a community post on our YouTube channel, you know, a poll and asking fans whether or not who would win in the rematch between Gervonta Davis and Pitbull Cruz. And I was very surprised by how close that poll was. And I was even more surprised at the comment section because people were going at it with each other. You know, people were saying, oh, Gervonta Davis or Gervonta Diva, you know, this and that. They're bashing Gervonta Davis. Some people are like, bro, if you're going for Pitbull, you got to be a casual, right? This and that. So you guys, what do you guys think about Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz rematch?
It's difficult, man. It's difficult. I think Cruz right now is at an all-time high in his career. With the boxing fans, he penetrated the casuals. I think he really did because the trash talking from Rolly went viral, and then for him to just get his ass kicked that bad against Cruz, these clips are going super viral now. Cruz is a new Mexican sensation. I think people are forgetting, you know, that might be blinding them a little bit because Gervonta Davis is Gervonta Davis. And if we look at that first fight, Gervonta Davis did win the fight. And, you know, it was a close fight. Cruz did a fantastic showing, but I still think he lost. I still think Gervonta Davis with one hand beat Cruz. Even at 140, I still think Gervonta Davis has the better skills to beat Cruz. You know, I don't think Cruz. I wouldn't give him like no chance. It'd be a good competitive fight, but I still have Gervonta Davis winning.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I don't want to sound like a hater, but I mean, Cruz is such a phenomenal fighter, but I still haven't been sold on that. Yes, rewatching the first fight of them, you realize that like yes, Gervonta Davis wasn't throwing one hand in specific, and it's the one he hurt. So what he did was he adapted to the situation. He boxed more, and that's how he won. He just won strictly by boxing. And you know, if we look at Cruz's recent opponents, Giovanni Cabrera, just kind of boxed him, and Pitbull did not look the best. That was his last fight. That was his last fight. So yeah, I would say a Gervonta Davis with both hands, being able to throw it whenever he wants to, and then having those boxing skills. I mean, the fight will be close because you know Pitbull does have power and whatnot, but I would still favor Gervonta Davis.
But here's the thing: remember when they first fought, Pitbull was a late replacement. So I mean, imagine him with a full camp catered towards fighting Gervonta Davis. I do think it'd be a very close fight in that aspect. But I do. This is the thing. Yeah, like you said, I think people are a little blinded by the fact that you know he's coming off this impressive win, you know, impressive showing, that they're not seeing like the whole big picture, and that is that Gervonta Davis is a legitimate elite in not just the division but in boxing in general. So you need to be able, you need to bring, you know, your A game and even more than that in order to try to beat Gervonta Davis. And I don't know, man. I think when people say that Gervonta Davis is ducking Isaac Cruz, is scared of Isaac Cruz, lost against Isaac Cruz. Look, man, I criticize Gervonta Davis a lot, but I don't believe any of that stuff. You know, when people say that, no, I do not believe Gervonta Davis is ducking, is afraid of Pitbull Cruz. He's not. He literally has no reason to be afraid of him. I do think that Gervonta Davis would give him a rematch based on how much they would sell. You know, the rematch would sell so much. They would sell out the arena. I'm sure they would do great pay-per-view buys. So, I mean, the fight would, you know, financially makes a lot of sense for Gervonta Davis to take. And I do think he will take that fight sometime in the future. Hopefully after the Frank Martin fight, we can maybe see that. Because then he has a legitimate reason to be at 140. And if he beats Isaac Cruz, then I mean, he's the champ at 140 now, and so then, therefore, we can get him to fight other champions at that weight division.
Yeah, I think that's completely true. I mean, back then, people always point to the fact that Gervonta was like, hell no. When he was asked if he would rematch Cruz, he said, hell no. And everyone's like, oh, he's scared. Well, it's because back then, Cruz was still kind of small. He hadn't hyped. He hadn't penetrated the casuals. Now he's at an all-time high in his name. Now it makes more financial sense to actually sell the fight. Now this fight, you know, will get pay-per-view buys. It'll sell out the arena. So I think Gervonta Davis was just waiting for the right time. He's a businessman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He waited for the right time to actually make this fight happen. And that's why I don't think he's scared. I think he's just like, let's wait. Let's see how he does in his career. Maybe it was just like a one-time thing. He looked good against Gervonta Davis, but then his next fight, he looks bad.
Yeah.
I think it was just waiting.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I like to sometimes put myself in the seat of like someone else. So like in this case, like the casual. Yeah, when I heard Gervonta Davis say that when asked, do you want the rematch? Hell no. I was like, bro, this guy does not want the rematch. He doesn't want the smoke. And he lost. But, you know, you watch the tape again. And then you go, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, he had a tough night, but he boxed it out. When you look at it through the business aspect of maybe when you see the reason why, maybe that's why Gervonta Davis said hell no, because, bro, I would even say casuals didn't really know Pitbull. But, like, even a lot of hardcore boxing fans didn't know. I didn't really know much about him. All I knew was that he had knocked out Magdaleno in the first round.
Yeah.
And since then, I was watching a couple of his fights. And then I see that 3 weeks before Gervonta Davis was supposed to fight, you know, they got him to fight. So he was relatively unknown. He gets his pay-per-view. He does all right. And then we go from here. Yeah, so now I would say a rematch does seem a bit more likely.
Yes.
In the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. And I think now, I mean, people are not going to stop criticizing Gervonta Davis if he doesn't take this fight. You know, now the fans are starting to push it a lot more. Back then, they were pushing it a little bit. You know, they were saying, oh, you were scared of the rematch. Now, they really ramped it up. I'm sure Gervonta Davis has gotten a lot of messages, a lot of tweets out saying that he's scared of Cruz. So hopefully he takes that and he's like, all right, I'll whoop this. I'll rematch this little Mexican. Like,
yeah.
hopefully it gets made, and hopefully, I mean, if he beats Frank Martin in the summer,
he will beat him.
I do think so too. But yeah, so that's the whole spiel. You know, it's a very highly debated topic now. You know, I feel like it's more heavily debated amongst the casuals in the aspect. You know, because like you said, the whole rise of Cruz since this viral KO that he had. And yeah, I think it's funny because I just be talking with some just random people, and we be talking boxing, and I just be bringing up Pitbull Cruz. They're like, oh, Pitbull Cruz, he shut up that trash talking, this and that, call him Chihuahua and stuff like that. I was like, yo, how do you guys know that?
Yeah, that's crazy too. Since you said that, I've heard a lot more people just kind of ask me about like Cruz, the whole fight. It was kind of crazy, That's one of those videos that you see trash talkers gone wrong.
Yeah,
and I'm like, but what the hell? You don't really watch boxing like that. What the heck?
Well, and this is one thing. This is why we have to give props once again to Rolly. Yeah. Because if it wasn't for his trash talking, Isaac Cruz would not be as big as he is right now. So I think we should all give Rolly his respect and thank him for making Isaac Cruz's career a world star. He made him a Mexican superstar.
Rolly Romero, bro. He's out there helping everyone.
He's he's just such a good guy,
bro. Dude, you're right, because he gave Barroso a platform to showcase himself, and now he's giving Isaac Cruz the stardom that he desperately wanted, and I mean, I think Rolly Romero is for the people, man.
I think he's a philanthropist, honestly.
I think he's a Mr. Beast.
He's very charitable. And
you know what I'm saying, bro?
Everything's calculated, bro.
He wants everyone to win.
It's not just for him.
It's not,
It's for everyone.
It's
bro.
for boxing.
Damn, dude, that man.
But people don't see that.
People don't see that, bro.
Rolly's misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. Yeah.
Misunderstood. Bro, he wished us a happy Easter too.
Yeah, dude, literally, bro.
Humble and defeat, bro.
Oh my god,
Rolly Romero is him, man.
Yeah,
dude. So, I mean, highly debated topic between Gervonta Cruz, Gervonta Davis,
new mythical fighter,
Gervonta Cruz. Yeah, bro. Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz, the rematch. Now, I want to go back towards the Hitchins fight.
Okay.
Because there was besides the fights, we also had David Benavidez there, because he's a stablemate of Diego Pacheco, who fought as the co-main event. So, he was there to support his stablemate. And, I mean, he got interviewed by The Zone, was it? And, I mean, fans online, or went online and were like, yo, this man drunk? He looks a little crunk. And turns out he was drunk, because David Benavidez came out on Instagram in the morning the following day and spoke about it, apologizing to the fans who saw his behavior and promised them that it will never happen again. Now, here's the thing, man. I was looking at the comments, to the replies of his Instagram story, and people were all like, this is the reason why Canelo won't fight it.
Bruh.
I was like, bro, guys, come on. What do you guys thought about that? David Benavidez has a fight coming up in the summer. But he was drunk this past weekend. Is that a bad thing for a boxer to be doing? Should he even apologize for that?
I mean, it's still a couple months away. It's in July, I believe. He's going to be co-headlining with Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. And he's going to be moving up to 175 to challenge for the number one contender spot of the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev, because Canelo doesn't want to give him a fight. So I feel like he shouldn't have mentioned anything online, because now he's just going to receive even more hate. Maybe he could have just kept it quiet. Obviously, the people who watched it and saw it are gonna know maybe he was probably crunk, right? He was a little drunk, he was a little intoxicated. But now he's made it a big thing. Now people are gonna be like, if you missed the fights this past weekend, you're gonna be like, wait, what happened? And you're gonna try to search for it. So I think he kind of made a mistake in making it a very public thing, and now people are gonna shit on him, saying he doesn't deserve the Canelo fight, he's not taking boxing serious, which I think is a bit harsh. I think maybe it was just a one-time, I'm sure he's in the gym, you know what I'm saying, but maybe
he is in the gym because of the marks on his face.
This is true. So I think people are being a little harsh, and I think that's partly his own fault, because he made it a spectacle.
Well, I mean, it is, timing wise, okay, sure, let's give him that. But I mean, his opponent, ain't the best. Let's just say it that way. So I mean, I would say he definitely is favored to win this.
His opponent for the for his upcoming fight.
For his upcoming fight, yeah, his opponent. Yeah, but he's not. For me, I don't think he's the best. Yeah, I don't think he's the best. He's kind of washed up. I would say he's like
not the same fighter. Yeah,
he's just kind of like a washed up fighter. Yeah, he's way past his prime and stuff. Trying to make a return, so he definitely has it easy. So let's give him that, right? Let's give him that. I mean, if you know you're gonna get interviewed, why are you drinking, bro?
Well, maybe he didn't know.
Yeah, they just got it.
Maybe they sprang it on him. But I mean, it is his own fault, I guess.
I mean, he should know the. But then again, I don't think he should apologize for it.
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't believe he should have apologized.
People are just being way too over the top when it comes to him drinking. Like, do fans assume that boxers don't drink? Like, yeah, we understand. We all understand Benavidez has a fight coming up, but it's still very early on. Like, he's still got a lot of time. I'm sure a lot of boxers do that, you know. I mean, Keyshawn Davis was smoking, and he was smoking. So like, and he was still performing at the high level. So I mean, as long as he's not, you know, drinking a week before the fight, I think he should be fine.
Yeah, I think it is true. They're being a little over the top, like you said, and. Benavidez, it's partly his own fault because he just made it such a big thing. You know, he went online as well. I was like, why'd you bring it online? Now you're for sure gonna get hate.
When I was watching it, it didn't really look. Did you guys think he was, or he looked intoxicated?
I just saw the memes. People are like, the zone knew what they were doing. There's like a picture of him looking all buzzed, and I was like, oh man.
So was he? People were saying he was slurring his words.
He was talking slower for sure. Yeah, but I didn't think anything of it. Really. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, now we know why Canelo doesn't want to fight him.
Because he's a drunk.
Canelo, there's clips of Canelo being like in an after party.
Let's fucking party.
yeah. No, but with his Mexican accent, let's fucking party. So it's like, bro, yeah, these boxers be doing that. I mean, he's not officially in his training camp. His fight doesn't even officially have a date. And not even officially a venue. I think he was on a podcast recently, and he was saying that it was either going to be in Texas or in Las Vegas. And it was either going to be, I can't remember the exact day, but it was going to be like some week in June. It was either, some shit like that, or June, July. So yeah, I mean, he's still not in training camp yet. This is probably one of his last times he's probably drinking as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put in perspective. Like, we're just gonna talk to casuals who, you know, maybe bring it up or whatever. But like, for the most part, like a typical training camp, like what the elites go through is like 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes even more. But that's typically like the range where they sustain from really any entertainment, any distractions whatsoever. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So I think he still has enough time. Yeah. So I think people are being over the top with him. So I don't think he did anything bad.
Nah.
They just caught him, you know, lacking.
They did catch him lacking. Maybe he shouldn't have been that drunk.
That's the only price he paid, man. Yeah. The fact that he got caught lacking. Yeah. Besides that, if they would have never interviewed him, nothing would have. No. People wouldn't even have known that he was drinking or drunk in that sense. But. I guess so be it, you know. I guess that's the whole spiel about David Benavidez.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys would like to cover? Because I want to cover something in the influencer side.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah. So it's officially April, and it's been nearly a year since the return of the Olatunji, Deji.
Yeah.
His last fight was
Tank.
The real Tank.
The real Tank.
His last fight was against Swarms, where he got a UD win over him. And since then, he has not fought. He has had no upcoming or rumors come out that he's even returning to the ring. People online are speculating that he's retired. Now, I want you guys' honest opinion. If he is possibly retired, what would you rank Deji's career in influencer boxing?
What do you mean, like rank him?
Like an A, B, C.
A, B, C.
Oh, I like this.
I'd give him a C.
A C?
He got a victory, but I mean, he went on like a 4-fight losing streak. So I mean, we can't just deny that. Like, we gotta look at the whole thing, right? So he went on like a 4-fight losing streak, but he then his last 2 fights he got the victories. So I'd give him, at least since he got a victory against Fuzi and Swarms, I'll give him an average letter grade. I'll give him a C. I think Deji definitely didn't have the best career, but at least he got a couple wins, retired like that. So I think it's C.
C. No minus, no B. I mean, no minus or plus.
C minus.
C minus.
Yeah,
C minus.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What'd you give him?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I remember. You know how influencers? Box Rec is the they keep records of all the fighters and whatnot. Sometimes even of like the amateur records. But I believe the influencer side. I don't remember what the name of it is.
It's just called YouTube Boxing.
YouTube Boxing. Yeah, and I
YouTube
believe
Box Rec.
and I believe on Deji's record, I think they have him as a winning record, like 2 wins.
Bro, they're
0 losses.
What are they just trying to rewrite history?
Oh, they have him at 2.
Never mind. They updated it. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
They
just
have 2-4.
2-4. See,
2-4.
yeah, like
Yeah.
So I give him an average. Or what do you think?
Oh no, I'm giving him a minus, but it's a D minus.
D minus?
No, that's bad. That's bad, dude. No, we really have to look at it like first fight against Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm.
The potential GOAT, you know, of influencer boxing. And then he loses. Who's his next fight?
Vinny Hacker.
Vinny Hacker. An 18-year-old, a kid who just turned 18.
TikToker.
A TikToker, dude. And he just beat Deji's ass.
TKO'd him, bro.
TKO'd him, bro.
He stopped him. He stopped
him.
Deji, bro.
That's crazy.
That's very bad.
The next opponent wasn't any better. Alex Wasabi.
Not any better.
Yeah, that fight, he loses that one too.
Split, yeah.
And then the one after that,
With the Fuzi,
Fuzi.
where he went. And
Wait, so that's only 3 losses?
Yeah.
they count Floyd Mayweather as one.
Oh,
That's an exhibition.
I kind of forgot he fought Floyd.
It's an influencer fight,
Yeah.
so it's counted, I guess.
Okay.
He got TKO'd in that one.
Yeah.
He got stopped. He got stopped, bro.
I guess he did get stopped, man.
And then he fought Swarms. So Swarms was in May. My bad. He didn't fight in April. It was May.
May.
But still, he's still 11 months away
Coming
from
up to a year.
to a full year. So, or a month away from coming to a full year. But so, what would you give his?
Yeah,
D minus.
a D minus.
A D minus. I'd give
Yeah,
him
he's
a-
definitely one of the worst ones.
I
yeah.
agree with you.
D minus.
I think he's a D minus.
I would say he's a pioneer because he's definitely opening the doors for like the rest of the influencer fighters that are coming in. But
Yeah.
Yeah, D minus.
Yeah, and I think he should retire, honestly. Because first of all, he doesn't really seem like he wants to. He has the fire to like keep on going. He was never really.
Did
like,
he ever?
Yeah, exactly. Like he never really had that fire to be a boxer, to win. So, I think it's good. I mean, he got wins. People are gonna give him. His fans are gonna give him respect because at least he got a victory. So I think he should just ride off, bro. He doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
But like his 2 victories were against
Nobody.
Doodoo, bro.
Yeah.
Fuzi, bro.
Yeah.
Losing record.
Fuzi.
Yeah.
Like if you don't win against Fuzi, like.
Bro, I was going for Fuzi because I was like, Deji has shown me nothing for me to even have any faith in him winning this fight. I thought Fuzi was going to be... That's how bad it got.
Yeah.
You ended up being a Deji supporter. You thought Fuzi was going to beat him. Oh, no, bro. I'm glad he won against Fuzi. That would have been bad.
That would have been bad.
But, I mean, Deji, he never really had a big fight.
No.
I mean, Jake Paul was
that was a big
easily the
one.
biggest fight.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even after his victory against Swarms, people were calling for Alex Wasabi rematch. You know, that would be a good fight. Or even fight like against Pineda. Against Slim was targeting him for a while, too. And now we know why Deji didn't fight Slim. Deji ducked every single of the top guys in the influencer scene. You know, he ducked Slim. He ducked the Wasabi rematch. He would probably duck a bless you. He would probably duck a Ed Matthews fight.
Yeah, probably.
I think Deji did not live up to anything to the expectations that everyone had for him. And then that's mainly just on him. You know?
And I think it's good that he's retiring because his fans were some of the most toxic and loyal fans I've ever witnessed. I mean, these guys were like brain dead casual. Like they would just go to whatever Deji would say. They'd be like, "Oh, but he's like the best skilled naturally," because Vidal Riley said it one time. I'm like, guys, he was his trainer. He's obviously trying to hype him up. But like, if we look at it objectively, Deji's horrible. His career, it wasn't that good. I mean, he didn't train. Like, he was just an undisciplined guy. Like, he never even really took it serious. Remember that one time when he did the press conferences in LA against Jake Paul? He was off edibles. He took an edible brownie before going on stage.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. It came out after because, yeah, like,
Did he actually?
Randolph. From the Sidemen.
Yeah.
Randolph.
The chubby dude.
Yeah, the chubby dude. He said it. He said, like, yeah.
So mean.
The husky dude. The husky dude. Yeah.
He said that before he went on stage, Deji took an edible, and then that's when they started having beef. Deji was like, "Oh, why are you even saying that? Why are you even mentioning that?"
Oh, it's true.
Well, he's undisciplined.
Was it the press conference where Jake was like, Walmart?
That's the one. That's the
hilarious.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was off an edible.
Yeah, I mean, even Kid Sai said it that like when he told Deji like, "Yo, it's time to go train." Deji was like, "I don't want this and that." Against Jake Paul, man. Imagine if he would have trained against Jake Paul. I feel like he would have done for a whole lot better, and he may have even
at least he wouldn't have gotten stopped.
Yeah. And done some like I would say some mental injuries on or psychological injuries on Jake Paul, because after he beat the shit out of Deji, I'm pretty sure he was like, "Oh, let's go," right? And then that's what that's where the whole Jake Paul train ended up, going.
Yeah, don't you remember? He was super proud of his WBC belt that he won.
The
remember? He was taking
WBC
that
belt.
everywhere into like professional fights.
I remember when Luis Ortiz fought, he was in his corner and he just rocking the belt.
And he just had it on. Like, he was so proud of himself. Jake Paul, and this is the start of Jake Paul. So it's all Deji's fault that we got a Jake Paul boxing career. Like, all thanks to Deji for not training.
Damn it, Deji.
Yeah, and then he gave so much confidence to Jake Paul that he was like, maybe I can take this seriously.
Well, I'm glad he did. I like Jake.
Yeah, I do like Jake.
I like Jake. But yeah, Deji, so you gave him a C-, D-.
D-.
I give him a D-
Damn,
too.
I was the most rewarding to Deji. Like,
No.
Yeah, no, he hasn't proved any.
No, he's not. I'm glad he retired though.
I think he should
I don't know what
retire.
he does really, but he can do.
Does he even upload videos and stuff?
Yeah, he still does. But I mean, he's just not gonna be boxing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now we know. Now the fans know what we truly think about Deji's career.
Oh, dude.
He's a nice guy, guys.
Yeah, he's a nice, like, this is one thing. I think people, they're going to think that we're going for him personally. Personally, he's a successful guy. You know what I'm saying? He got in the ring. Respect there. So personally, we don't have a problem with him.
Yeah.
But if we want to talk about his boxing career, I mean, we can't, like, you have to criticize him, man. I think even KSI would criticize him. Like, his career really wasn't the best. And he could have done a lot better.
Yeah, like at least just for me, I'm not looking at it just attacking him, but like I was a fan. I used to watch his videos and stuff like that. And when he was gonna fight Jake Paul, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going for Team Deji.
Yeah,
Tank, bro. He could be the Tank of the influencer side.
No,
and then the moment he took off his shirt to step on the scale, I just remember I was like, dude, what is going on? Right? He does not look like
not
he's
about
in
the
shape.
physique, man.
Yeah,
and then I was like, okay, let me just move past that. And then
no.
Never the same.
Never the same.
Now Deji is rumored to be retired. Not even even his coach made a hint that like it's not in the gym. So we may have possibly seen the last of the Olatunji, the Tank, Deji. I mean, thank you. Thank you. But I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover today. Let us know down below, is Deji the Tank the greatest of all time when it comes to an influencer? Did he exceed your expectations? Did he duck a Wasabi rematch, man? Let us know down below what you guys think about Deji the Olatunji the Tank. Also let us know about David Benavidez. Is the reason that he's getting drunk the reason why Canelo's not fighting him? Also, let us know about what you guys thoughts about Hitchins. Is he ready for the 140 champions? Is he ready for Matias, or should he take a different route towards a world championship belt? Lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as following us on all our forms of social media. We are on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Lastly, we also have a Discord, link down in the description below. Don't forget to join. We're trying to build a community there where we can learn all about your guys' takes and opinions about boxing. But yes, this was Pablo, and I am with Rudo and Asa, and this was the Last Round Podcast. Thank you for watching.